let go, let God, let go, and let God.
Thank you, Rhea. What a powerful message in song, wouldn't you agree? To let go, to give way, to relinquish our control, and to let the divine energy, the divine flow have its way. On the first Sunday, we started this conversation regarding Charles Fillmore's book, The 12 Powers of Man. You're well aware that Charles Fillmore is the co-founder of Unity. He co-founded with it was Myrtle who led the way. I just want that to be known now. Myrtle led the way. That's right, Myrtle Fillmore. Finally, Charles Fillmore got on board, but Myrtle started Unity. How about that? Yeah. And Myrtle started this. I feel a movement right now. Myrtle started Unity based on an experience that she had of the power that was at work within her. And when Charles, her husband, saw that she worked this power, he began to apply the same principle in his life and was able to manifest healing in his own body. He wrote this book entitled The 12 Powers. Let's say it, The 12 Powers. Oh, I want you to catch this. This is hot. The 12 Powers of Mind, or the 12 powers of man or woman, suggesting that within each one of us, we have 12 centers, 12 power centers that are here to work for us on our behalf as we choose to become conscious of these power centers within ourselves. This month, we are working with the spiritual faculty, the spiritual principle of divine power. And that power center in the body is located right here. If you would place your hand here at your throat, it is the back of the throat, the root of the tongue. Florence Scovel Shinn says it in the title of her book. She says, your word, the spoken word, is your power, the power of your spoken word. And when we use the spoken word, my friends, that is sort of charged with focus, we galvanize, in the words of Dr. Ernest Holmes, we galvanize the support of the universe to begin to work mysteriously, miraculously, magically on our behalf, mystically, when we choose to activate the power. And as we keep with this train of thought, this is a power series, and we didn't know it. This is the third of the power series. I didn't know it when we started it. We want to talk for the next few minutes about the power of focus. There is a power within each one of us, and it is the power that we can use to shape and reshape, to create and recreate our life, world, and affairs at any given time. And this power of creation, this power of reshaping is the power of focus. It has been stated that the number one reason why people have yet to experience the things that they truly desire in life is because of the lack of focus. Now, I'm going to ask a question, and I want you to be honest, as I know that you will. How many of you consider yourself to be a focused individual? Well, thank you for your honesty. I saw hands, they were like, no one did. How many of you would like to be more focused in your life? Yeah, oh, thank you for your honesty. The power of focus, our ability or inability to focus will determine, friends, our future experience beginning right now. And the truth of the matter is, whatever we are focusing on right now, in life, this very moment, in the eternal now, in the words of the great theologian Paul Tillich, in the eternal now, whatever we are focusing on, we are inviting, we are asking, we are commissioning the universe to now bring this idea as the experience in our life, world, and affairs in the moments to come. For we understand in truth that this very moment is simply the residual outcome of everything that we focused on yesterday. Uh-oh. So the question that we're called to answer, and it really is a rhetorical question, but it really begs a response. Where is your focus? Where is your focus? On what are you focusing in your life? What is so important in your life? And don't you know that wherever the attention goes, and that's what focus really is, concentration, it is attention. Wherever the attention goes, what happens? The energy will flow. The energy of creation flows into that. So we're called today to be mindful, just to be conscious from the daily word. Consciousness is awareness. And Dr. Emily Cady teaches in her book, Lessons in Truth, that the key to overcoming, the key to moving through any experience, challenging or not, in life is consciousness. It's awareness, being aware. Being aware. So as we consider this, we understand that in our society, in our world, it appears that there are so many distractions for us. There's always something trying to get your attention, right? Something's always trying to get your attention. There's always that around us trying to get our attention. And sometimes that is intentional. There are some institutions that are consciously trying to get your attention. Well, you go in some of these department stores, oh yeah. Macy's or Nordstrom's or Neiman Marcus, some of these, well, you know, I know you all shop at the Gucci's and all of that. That nice music that they play, you ever hear that music? And you walk in, it puts you in the mood of shopping. And before you realize it, at times, and not just in those stores, I've even gone into like the supermarket and my intention was to go in to get one thing. And I was so adamant, I'm just getting one thing, just some water. But I walked out with like several bags. There's a conscious effort to capture our attention. And these institutions know that because wherever the attention goes, the energy will flow. As we consider the power of focus, which is our power, and no one can use that power for you but you. We all have the power to direct our concentration, to move into a space of mindfulness, meditation mindfulness, of where we calm the thoughts, focus the attention in this present moment on that which we desire. And here's the good news, that when we focus the attention, just focus the attention, then the universe begins to conspire on our behalf. As we hold this idea of the power of focus, there are a few things, that we're required to do. And some of us, we have the spiritual ADD syndrome. I know that. Be honest. Anyone else? You're conscious in this moment. Oh, yeah, I know what I want. I know where I'm going. I know what I want to do. I know what I need to do. I know who I need to talk to in this moment. But by afternoon, I don't know who I should. I don't know what I should do. It's just like I was I've shared with other services. I have this day, and it's my day to clean. Well, my house is always tidy, but I decided it's time to clean up the house. And I always start, the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is I will make up my bed. That's the very first thing. I will not leave the house without an unmade, with my bed unmade. And I won't get in an unmade bed. And so the very first thing that I do when I get up is I'll make up the bed. But then I needed to do some other things in the bedroom. And as I was cleaning and straightening up the room, and then I'm like, oh, well, I am a little thirsty. Well, let me go to the kitchen. So I went to the kitchen, and I'm like, well, I got some water, but then I knew I had some other things in the fridge. And as I was in the kitchen piddling, and then I noticed, I should throw out this out of the fridge. I need to put that. And then I got a phone call. So I left the bedroom to the kitchen. I went from the kitchen. I went to the desk to get the phone. And as I was talking on the phone, and I'm like, well, while I'm chatting, sometimes you get those conversations. All they really want you to do is listen. So I'm like, okay, I know. I'm just going to listen to this conversation. I can at least pull up my computer, open my emails, And before I realized that I was on Facebook, and then And the phone call ended, and then the siren was going down the alleyway, and I'm like, I went to the lanai to look out to make sure everything was all right. And there I am on the lanai. I should have been in the bedroom, cleaning up the bedroom to make my way to the bathroom, to the kitchen, to the living room, to the office, on the lanai. And there I was, and I got another phone call. I ran back to the phone, answered the phone, got back on the email, looked at the email, went back to the kitchen, got some more water, went back to the sofa, turned on the television, and the house was still unclean. How often does it happen in life? We know we have pure intention, right? And we set out on a path, on a course. We start moving in the direction, and then the winds of life gets to shifting and moving. And I'm reminded of that parable of the story in sacred scripture and sacred text, where you remember Peter, the disciple Peter, who was so adamant. He wanted to be a focused individual. He wanted to do the right thing at the right time. He wanted to evolve spiritually. He wanted more than anything to become the best Peter that he could be, and he sought only to do those things. And one day he was out with his boys, hanging out on the boat, and there he saw the water was raging, and he saw his rabbi, his teacher, what appeared to be the master teacher, walking on the water. And Peter, in his desire to be the best Peter that he could be, he was focused. He says, "Oh, Rabbi, is that you?" And the master teacher says, "Yes." And Peter said, "If that is you, please bid me to come." And Peter kept his eyes right on the teacher, master teacher. And as he was walking, he was doing fine, walking on the water. But the moment he took his attention, shifted his concentration, he began to look at everything that's going. I am walking on water here, and this is not shallow. And he took his eyes off the prize, and he began to sink. Friends, that's what happens in life, as I know I'm preaching to the choir. When we take our eyes off the prize, and the prize is that great spirit, that power. Sacred text says, "Now unto him who is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we can hope, think, or imagine, according to his power that is at work in us." And that is the power of focus, the power of concentration, the power of attention. And as we stand in this power, utilizing this power, making up the mind, setting the goal for what you want, and refusing to give attention to anything else. Peter wanted to walk on water, to go out where the master teacher was, but he began to focus on everything below, and whatever we focus on, it grows and it magnifies, and it's really interesting. Your attention becomes the magnifying glass on that situation. Isn't it interesting how we can make mountains out of molehills? Oh, I know I'm not the only one who's ever done that. You made a big issue out of nothing at times. Have you ever done that? Oh, come on, be honest. Have you ever made something out of nothing? And it was nothing, but we made it something. It was absolutely nothing. And as Shakespeare says, that the nothingness of life comes to pass. Regardless of how challenging the nothingness of life might be, and regardless of how good, come what come may, time and hour will pass through the roughest of day. It might be the most challenging aspect of life, but if you keep your attention on what is right, as Paul says, on what is noble, on what is true, of what is perfect, of what is pure, this too will pass. Oh, that's good news. So it tells us, as we set the goal and hold the goal, it could be the goal of health and wellness, and maybe that is the goal right now. I just want to feel better in my body. I want to experience health, and I want to experience peace in my body. Well, just hold that as your vision. The conscious mind will always try to figure out how it's going to happen. And the best thing we can do the best gift that we can give our conscious mind is the gift of sitting down and be quiet. Sit down and shut up, conscious mind. The soul will always look back and wonder, my friends, how you made it over that experience. That is the conscious phase of your being. But when you set your focus, set the goal, then we activate the law of priority. And the law of priority says that whatever we make priority, good, bad, or indifferent, in the forefront of our consciousness, that is what shows up in our life, world, and affairs. Chaos, dis-ease, all of that other stuff, as well as. Then we're called to zoom out sometimes. Sometimes we just need to get a wider vision. You know, if you ever looked at the camera, Owen gave me this great scenario, and please forgive me, I don't know if I'm going to do it justice, but it's like looking through a camera. And as long as you zoom in, you can only see a little bit, you know? You only get a little angle. I just want to zoom in on this one spot. But if we can zoom out, we let the light in. Then we get the bigger picture. And we can see what we did not see before, and we'll have the assurance that all is well. There's a wonderful story of this in the Old Testament. The Hebrew text talks about a little boy at the age of 15 who used the power of his focus, the power of focus, to change the conditions not only in his life but in the lives of those around him. You know the story, where this great giant, the big Philistine, Goliath, was taunting the people. You can't take me. You're not big enough to take me. No one can take me. And sometimes life experiences will show up like that. You're not big enough to handle this. And everyone was afraid but this little boy, age 15. And David says, I'll take him on. This is nothing. I've knocked down lions and bears in my life. You are nothing to me. Let me show you what I can do with you, David says. You come in the name of your sword, but I come in the name of my God that is good. And he took what he had in hand. He got focused on his target: health, wealth, love, peace, joy, oneness, unity. And he used what he had, and by right of his focus, he activated the law of priority, and the winds of the universe began to blow, and the great power of the divine got behind that stone, and when he let it go, he knocked Goliath out. Friends, your focus will lay Goliath down every time, anytime, anywhere, everywhere, if you choose to activate it. This is the power that we have today. This is the power that you have. This is the power that we're called to activate. This is the power that we're called to use. It is the power of focus that will change this world. God bless you. Peace and blessings.